This week we're wrapping up our series called Rebuilding Faith, and I wanted to give you a quick recap of what we talked about. So we started by talking about this wall being like our faith, or the systems of our worldview that we talked about. And sometimes questions come, doubts come, and they put holes into our faith. And so the sledgehammer represents the holes and the trouble that we have in our faith. So how do we rebuild our faith when we have doubts? And so we have to think about, okay, even the disciples had doubts when Jesus was crucified. How would they rebuild their faith? On the foundation of the risen Christ. And so we started talking about, we got to rebuild our faith, and we need the cornerstone of Jesus. That's what these cinder blocks represent, the cornerstone foundation. And we ought to build on that rock. He is risen. And then we talked about the structure of our faith. Like Jesus said, build our house on the rock. And we have to have different things that we build our life on. Truth, and helps us build the framework of our faith. Then we talk about, we also need to run power like the Holy Spirit. We need to switch. We need to be able to plug into the power source, because we don't just want a life without power. We want a life with power, with God's Spirit. And we have plans how to get forward in our faith. How does our life look like? We need a vision for the future. We need to have a place that we have a faith, that feels like home, that doesn't have an empty frame like this, but is represented by a family of faith. Pretend that's there. All right, then we want to move into this house. We don't just want a house, we want to have a home in our faith. That's why we have this map. Welcome home, right? Welcome home, pictures. You want to have time with Jesus. And so you spend that time with Jesus, and it's really a way that we connect with him and have a relationship. But it's not just about our relationship and having a house and a home. We want to be part of a community. That's what this fence represents. We have neighbors, a church, people we share our life with, and that's how we rebuild our faith. But it's not over there. We've got one more week to go. We hope to see you this Sunday.